Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video, and the recent World Tournament reward cards this time were a KALE right here, and then a Int Khalifa. Now, KALE specifically, I think, is probably the best World Tournament reward card that's out right now. She is a ridiculous support type unit for the best unit in the game, LR, KALE, and Khalifa, right? So, we're definitely going to go ahead and rainbow her. I think that Int Khalifa is pretty solid as well. So, let's go ahead and check out how solid this Tech KALE is. Again, who I would consider the best World Tournament reward card currently in the game. Alright guys, so we're in an event on the Pure Saiyan team. It's been, you know, about 2 months or so, I believe. Well, actually, well, geez, now I'm recording this, it's already March. And I think I did record the first part of that, the KALE part in December, actually. One of the last couple days in December. You know, back when KALE and Khalifa were still the best unit in the game. Now, obviously, I do think the blue fusions have sort of surpassed, right? I do think this KALE is still the best World Tournament reward card in the game, but there hasn't been a World Tournament on either version with a new reward card since this KALE and Khalifa, right? And this KALE is about to come out on Global. Global is about to have a World Tournament, so we can go ahead and take a look how good our girl is, right? Now, she does stack both attack and defense, which is really good. And then if there's another unit with Khalifa in their name in the same turn, KALE gets 120% defense, and she launches an additional super attack. So she's at 72k defense right there. I don't think that's with the 120% defense. I think it has not actually kicked in yet. Because I imagine that it would like activate as soon as KALE attacks, because that's when it would register that there's a Khalifa on the turn. And by the way, Khalifa and KALE, the SSR, TUR, and LR all do count right there for a Khalifa on the same turn. So, attack stat, not really the greatest right there, but there's the second super attack. Yeah, I guess really, because she does get higher attack as she's stacking, right? And then there's double digits right there. This is probably not going to do a lot either. 94k is decent a number right there. But because of the fact that, you know, just KALE and Khalifa can activate KALE's passive, that's what really kind of pushes her over the edge for me. Because then you just have a situation where, like, you're going to want to run this KALE, right? Because she's giving 40% attack and 20% defense to KALE and Khalifa, which, you know, again, they're no longer the best unit in the game, but, like, they're still, like, a top 5 unit, like, ridiculously stupid OP unit, right? Like KALE and Khalifa are still just as dumb OP as they used to be. It's just now that there's even more OP units out, right? So, you know, this KALE is going to be important. Well, okay, the only thing is, right, like, I would imagine that Kefla is going to be a Dokkan Fest exclusive or an LR, but unfortunately, Kefla does not have the Pure Saiyan category, right? Because the thing about this KALE is that she gives a buff to Universe 6 and Pure Saiyan. So that works great for the KALE and Khalifa cards, but not for Kefla, who stupidly does not have Pure Saiyans. Obviously, she should, so that's something that hopefully Dokkan will fix at some point, giving Vegito, Gogeta, and Kefla Pure Saiyans. I don't think it'll happen, unfortunately, but hopefully it would. Alright, wow, so KALE's up at 100k defense already. Obviously very good. We also have Turles on rotation this time, so, you know, KALE's attack set's going to jump up a little bit, plus, you know, she also does have you know, the permanently stacking attack and stuff like that. So, you know, she is just a very, very uber defensive. Having the guaranteed super attack is obviously incredibly powerful. She's going to have really good defense. You know, if it's a long event, she will build attack as well. So, KALE, she's just really good. For a free unit, for a World Tournament reward card, she's super, super good. And then considering that this upcoming World Tournament for Global, you know, you do get not only this Tech KALE, but also the Int Khalifa. I'll do a video on her shortly. It's just ridiculously good. Honestly, I really do think Dokkan should do that. They should have, like, 2 or 3 World Tournament reward cards nowadays. Just with how stupidly tedious and boring and awful the World Tournament is, I think having multiple reward cards like that is a really, really good idea. Okay, so I want to avoid a super attack with Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta right here. I don't think KALE and Khalifa will finish off Android 13. KALE and Khalifa, by the way, I think probably could actually take a lot of damage here against Android 13, because I don't know that they've raised their defense that much. But Android 13 is actually maybe the scariest Dokkan Fest exclusive boss that's around right now, because when he super attacks, he massively lowers your defense. We've seen other bosses do that, but 13 can also stun, and that super attack would do like 250k damage. Like, it's an insanely powerful attack, and it's very easy to die fighting this Android 13 boss. I would love to see him actually pull it out right here on TUR, Kale and Khalifa, and see how well they would be able to sort of block against it. Again, this Android 13 is like actually very, very strong, but looks like he's just not going to super attack. Okay, sure. Whatever, 13. Alright, so let's see what Kale's attack and defense are up to on this turn, right? Our girl, Kale. Let's see. And she's up to 130k defense. Pretty good. Pretty solid. Again, Kale is a nice, fine unit. So, alright. After this, let's go ahead and go over to the Universe 6 team. You know, probably a double hit on the team. You know, let Kale kind of build up her attack and defense. You know, but regardless, she's just always going to look good. As long as she's around other versions of Kale and Khalifa, and in particular Khalifa, obviously, but she'll always be solid in that situation. Alright, so all the shit I was just talking about, how powerful 13 is, in this situation, he's probably going to do as much as he could. Wow, I feel like 56, that's a lot of damage he did, because Kale, you know, she would have taken, like, if that was any other boss supering her, unless it was, like, you know, like an AGL boss, that would have done double digits, like, that's very impressive by Android 13 right there. But, alright, let's go to the Universe 16. Alright, guys, so now we're on the Universe 6 team, led by Hit. One really good thing about Hit is his leader skill does give 170% across the board HP attack and defense to Universe 6. So, obviously, you know, we're starting turn 1. Kale's at 80k defense, which is very good. And, you know, again, she's just stacking defense every single time she attacks. I'll probably leave the Tech Kale and the Tech Khalifa together, which, again, is just going to be... This is like a ridiculous defensive combo right here, by the way. These two units, because, remember, Khalifa, depending upon what you're fighting, right? If it's a Pure Saiyan or a Universal Rival Arc enemy, she has a 100% chance to dodge. And then this Kale, I mean, is not going to be taking a lot of damage whatsoever. So this is just a ridiculously powerful rotation right here. And this honestly could work probably even against Int UI Goku, because by the time we would get there, both of those units stack defense, and both of them would have probably stacked their defense up to a point, and then also Kale is a defensive support type unit for them, that I feel like they probably wouldn't, they would take double digits from Int UI Goku's normals, and then, you know, Kale would probably take minuscule damage from Int UI Goku's super attack. I think Khalifa, I've tested her out thoroughly in this event, she probably still would take a lot of damage, but because Kale is going to be double supering every single turn at minimum, her defense will be at a level where she will take double digits from Int UI Goku for sure, right? So she's another one of these very dominant units here in the Legendary Goku event. I might do a video on, you know, Kale and the Int Khalifa, just kind of like going through the event itself. So what I'll probably do now, I guess I might just sort of move ahead a little bit in the event, let Kale and Khalifa, well, mainly Kale, right, just sort of like build up her attack and defense, and then we'll come back at like Blue Goku or STR UI Goku, right, and see like what sort of attack stat Kale has gotten up to, what defensive stat Kale has gotten up to. But again, like, you know, between her support type buff, which, you know, she's giving herself 40% attack and then 20% defense, and then plus her 120% defense. So Kale basically is having, what, 140% defense, 40% attack, and a guaranteed super attack from her passive, which is obviously a lot for a unit. She's not even a TUR, she's an SSR. Like, these units like this that do these support type buffs, like the Tech Gotenks, the STR Goku Black, this Kale, like, they're just going to be so damn OP once they get their awakenings. Like, it's going to be a super long time until we see any of them get their awakenings. I believe STR Goku Black will probably be the first one, but once they do, it is just going to be GG. Get out the way. So, alright, so, you know, going through, obviously, once we get, like, Chomp on rotation, Kale will easily be able to hit, like, a 1 million attack set and stuff like that, right? So, let's just go ahead and let Kale build up for a while. Alright, guys, so I've been going through the events for quite a while now. We're at STR UI Goku, and here's Kale at 354,000 defense. So, quite obviously, she's at a really good number. I'm not going to use any defensive reduction items or anything like that, so we are going to die. Goku is going to kill Champa, but let's see what Kale is doing. I don't know if she's going to hit a million. Oh, yeah, she is above 1 million. Okay, cool. Wow, nice. There we go. I mean, very strong. We saw that her defense was incredibly impressive. I mean, she just continues to stack. Kale's just super strong. Both Kale and the Caulifla, both of them are really, really good. There we go. Triple super attack. Boom. Kale is very impressive. Okay, so let's go ahead and move into the breakdown for our girl Kale and take a look at all of her details. Alright, so this is Rapid Growth Sensation Kale. Her leader skill is Super Tech Type Key 2 and 70% of stats, so leader skill isn't really that good, but not a big deal whatsoever. You know, because obviously the rest of her kit is very impressive, right? Her super attack is the Resist Blast, which stacks attack and defense and does supreme damage to the enemy. Stacking both attack and defense is pretty good. Now, her attack is not really, obviously, a big asset to the card. It's more her support type abilities and then the fact that she's an excellent defensive unit. I mean, that is very nice for support type units to be very, very strong defensively because, you know, it's easy to just let Kale, like what Kale's intended to do is just power up LR Kale and Caulifla, right? And then because Kale's stacking defense, she has a big defensive buff. She's not going to be a liability as she's making Kale and Caulifla stronger. So obviously it does work out quite well. Kale's passive is Tension on the Big Stage. So she gives Universe 6 category allies 20% attack and 10% defense. And she also gives Pure Saiyan category allies 20% attack and 10% defense. Then Kale also gets 120% defense and a guaranteed additional super attack if there is a Caulifla attacking in the same turn, and it's just a character with Caulifla in the name. So obviously Caulifla, Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla, you know, Caulifla and Kale, Super Saiyan Caulifla and Kale, or Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla and Kale, all of them work, right? It all activates Kale's defensive buff and her additional super attack. Her links are the Saiyan Lineage, Saiyan Warrior Race, Battlefield Diva, Rival Duo, Warriors of Universe 6, and Tournament Power. So, of course, a lot of the female Saiyans do all link up pretty well together. Her 12 key multiplier is 140%, which is fine. I mean, she is only an SSR, right? And then if we go ahead and take a look at it, our girl is on 4 different category teams. So, number 1, she is over here on the Peppy Gals team, which I feel like, you know, again, I've mentioned it recently, but I feel like we could get a Bulma for Peppy Gals, like a Namek Saga Bulma. There's not like an adult Bulma card from Dragon Ball Z that's like on the category, right? It's just like youth Bulmas from Dragon Ball, so that would be interesting. Then she's also over here in the Universal Survival Saga category, which of course is going to be getting a big buff pretty soon on JP with SCR Blue, Kaioken Goku, and Bergamo, both going to be arriving probably in April, I would imagine. Then down here, she's also over on the Pure Saiyan team, which of course has had, you know, buffs during the 5-year anniversary, because of course, you know, you just can't have an update in this game without a Pure Saiyan units being released, right? And then finally, she's on the Universe 6 category, which I do think Kefla as a Dokkan Festival exclusive is probably something that is going to be in the cards, and then maybe, you know, the Universe 6 Namekians can get separate cards as well. Like, there's definitely some things they could do with Universe 6 still. Yeah, again, Kefla, I mean, we could, so we have the Super Saiyan 2 Kefla right now. Honestly, I mean, there's no base form Kefla in the game, so we could start there. I mean, they easily could do, like, a base form Kefla that transforms. They could do, like, an LR Kefla that's either Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 2. Like, there's a lot that they could do with Kefla, and they will indeed do with Kefla, because she is a Potara fusion, so it's going to be buffs for the Potara team, and it's going to be huge. And then the Universe 6 team is going to get super scary once a female, like a female Saiyan, like, again, if a Kefla releases that has a Universe 6 leader skill, so you can drop bum-ass hit. Like, as soon as you could drop this bum from the team, and you could just run all, like, Universe 6 Pure Saiyans, it's going to be disgusting. It's going to be a ridiculous team, so I am definitely looking forward to that. And yes, you heard me. As soon as you could drop this bum who weighs the team down, yes, the Universe 6 is going to get a lot better. So, there's our girl, Kale, the best World Tournament reward card as of right now. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.